They say if you can't find this shoe, you should try this shoe. But even this shoe is hard to find. So why not try this shoe? Yo, what is good YouTube? Geo here. Welcome back to the official Unorthodox YouTube channel. Today we have a performance review and it's on the Li-Ning Speed 8. So for those of you who don't know, Li-Ning has a guard specific series, which is the Speed. And they also have a forward specific series, which is the Power. And they have an all-around line, which is the Sonic, apart from their signature lines that include the D-Wade and the upcoming D-Low Ice. But today we are talking about Fred VanVleet's unofficial shoe, which is the Li-Ning Speed 8. The reason I say it's his unofficial shoe is because it's not named the Fred VanVleet's, but he has a number of PEs and specific colorways just for him. So if you were curious about how these bad boys performed, check it out. So before we discuss the traction of this shoe, let's first take a look at this shoe. So the traction of the Kobe 5 is that heartbeat traction pattern. So this is where they kind of differ greatly. But just because they don't look different doesn't mean they don't perform the same. So the heartbeat traction pattern has been a fan favorite for years. You can see the amount of NBA players still wearing the shoe. It's a great indoor shoe. But when we are talking about the Li-Ning Speeds, they do utilize very familiar traction pattern, but also a very reliable one. So they went with radial that resonates from the ball of the foot as well as the heel. The only difference though is that it translates into nubs, which is a more modern thing. The last shoe that we saw that did this was the Zoom Freak 2s. What I can say about the radial traction pattern is that it's very good. The nubs don't wear off right away. They have a super grippy exterior that this one doesn't have, which makes it more of an outdoor friendly shoe, but just as effective indoors as if you were compared to this. Traction very identical, but still very different in nature and in essence. All right, so if we are going to compare the cushioning system, the Kobe 5 utilizes a very stacked Zoom unit in the forefoot. Into comparison with the Speed 8s, it's kind of the same. So in the forefoot, it's light foam, and in the back, it's the boom cushioning setup. The light foam setup in the forefoot is very different from the Sonic 8 review, which you can click right here. That was a very caged forefoot, thus hindering the plushness of the material. So the return on the foot is very similar, dare I say this, to Zoom. Not exactly the airiest and bounceability that Zoom would provide, but it's a really close second. I'd still take the 5s, but not so far behind is the cushioning system of the Li-Ning Speed 8. All right guys, so when it comes to the Kobe 5, the fit is very slim and very narrow. Though despite being narrow, the need to go up half a size is not exactly there because of how the shoe provides that sock-like fit due to the materials. Nike sort of perfected how to utilize this type of material, so even if their shoes did fit a little narrow, you could still go true to size. But unlike the Speed 8s, I usually wear 10.5s. The initial review I saw on websites were that these shoes fit a little narrow, and me having wide feet, I went half a size up and it did do me good because the shoe fits perfectly. So lengthwise, it's not too long. All I have to do is wear thick socks. Go half a size up if you are a wide footer. If you're a narrow footer, then go with your Chinese brand shoe size, which in my case would have been a 10.5, but going up half a size did me really good on this one. All right, so when it comes to the materials and the support, the Kobe 5, thick yet supportive, creates that sock-like fit, which cannot be mimicked by any other upper out there. So in comparison to the Li-Ning Speed 8, the upper is mostly a textile, but it has kind of this textured plastic all over the shoe. It is a little bit more malleable compared to 5s. If you press and there's no real movement going on, just a little bit of a give, but still provides that very supportive material and feel to the foot. When it comes to the material you use for the cushion, again, if I press on this and if I press on this, it's almost the same thing. It pushes my finger out just the same as if I was to press this. The collar and the ankle fit, very damn near identical. If you look at how they are, No one is thicker than the other. Both keep the ankle intact and are very well padded. The only difference is the Speed 8s kind of step it up with that cat's tongue. All right, so overall, Kobe 5 still is pretty much the better shoe, but a really, really close second. I really think that Li-Ning modeled itself. It's how the Protro did it, which is technically still 10 years back in technology-wise, but still trying to improve upon it. So it's still a step low. You can't make the same shoe one for one. So the closest you can get to the Kobe 5 without jumping through too many hoops is the Li-Ning Speed 8. Very easily available on Amazon. I will be leaving a link down below. Very affordable. Price is so much less retail, and you don't have to pay resale just like how these are going for in the market today. And let's even include the GT cut. People still pay resale prices for the GT cuts, which is funny because that's a performance shoe. This, you get that nostalgic, and you know, you got Kobe's name attached to it. But the GT cuts don't have anything, but it's still retailing for an insane amount. So again, if you were looking to get that same feeling but still get a banger of a shoe for guards, and if you dig that low cut look with the sleek yet futuristic and bulky Li-Ning flavor, go for the Li-Ning Speed 8. So see you on the next shoe. Peace.